Good morning. David's Got Talent, David Baker. I'm baking today, so this is it. Fruitcake. Show you how to make a fruitcake. And this is what I use. Baking tin. Baking tin. You can use any baking tin. You need some baking paper. At some point of the day, you're going to have to line that tin with greaseproof paper. So, do it now. I'm already excited making a cake, baking a cake, fruit cake. This is the bit that is difficult if you're not very artistic. So we don't worry about it and we just get some scissors and get on with it. So what you need to do is sort of get the greaseproof paper into there. If you can manage this, you can make the cake. You can see how great I was in the arts class, can't you? Woodwork, arts, none of that. I couldn't do any of that. Trying my best, but it's very messy. Tries hard, but his results are rather immature. Look at me now though, David Baker. Watch this. I can really do brilliant cakes, so please stay with me for 2 hours. It's going to be, well, obviously it cooks for 2 hours, but it doesn't take that long. Okay, so I'll do it in a few programs of quarter of an hour probably. So we start off with this, quarter of an hour. Let's see what we can do in quarter of an hour. You've got to grease this, so you need some lard. This is so the cake comes out, it doesn't stick. Cake doesn't stick when it's coming out the oven. It's going to be a cake with almonds on it and currants and sultanas, lovely fruit cake, beautiful fruit cake. Just to show how easy it is, and I'm showing you today. There we go. This is the hard bit for me. You'll be amazed when I've finished. You'll be amazed. You'll go, oh my word! You'll exclaim. You say, I didn't think. You say, I've got the glasses on today. I'm not messing around. David Baker, come on. Okay. You might notice it's a bit quiet and there's no music going on, but I've got to think a little bit about this one. This is it. This is launch for David Baker program. Yeah? Come on. Right. So we've got that done. Right. If it doesn't look so brilliant, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You just smooth down these over the sides. As long as it doesn't catch fire in the oven. Right, so just cut a bit more off it. So if you start with the hard bit, sometimes it works out better. Okay, so 5 minutes. All we've done is that. Oh, brilliant. Anyway, right, I'll speed up a bit. We'll do ingredients next. Ingredients. Okay, well, you need things like a big mixing bowl. That much water, which could be about 300 mil, is it? You need an iPad as well, so you can read off the instructions in your kitchen. You're going to need that. 'Cause you won't be able to remember all the ingredients. You can write them down on a sheet of paper. Old school. Right, so you need 175 grams of demerara sugar, 150 grams of sultanas, 125 grams of currants, 150 grams of seedless raisins, 300 ml of water, 73 grams of glacé cherries, and no, it's not an alcoholic cake. Cherry baby. 125 grams of butter or margarine plus a pinch of salt, 1 egg beaten. So I recommend you look for all this stuff before you start, especially the eggs. 275 grams of self-raising flour sieved. Took me ages to find the eggs. 50 grams of blanched almonds. Now blanched almonds means you boil them in a pan, 50 grams of them. This is what it looks like. It doesn't look so great, does it? Show you. You can see that. Blanched almonds. Basically boil them, but not too much so that they burn, and then you peel off. I'll show you in a bit. You peel off the almonds when they've cooled down, and that's the pièce de la résistance that you put on the top of your cake at the end. Okay, so we've got the water, got a bowl. What else do we need? Demerara sugar, 175 grams. Come on. Oh, I've got some flour here. 275 grams of flour. Right, so I'll put it all in this bowl. 275 grams of flour. Don't mess around. Don't mess around. Right, next thing. 175 grams of sugar. 175 grams of sugar. Okay. Right, there's not enough of that. So, need more sugar. More sugar. Typical, just when you're filming something. Right, we got it. We're cooking on gas, we've got more sugar. This is going to be brilliant, I'm just going to feel it. I can feel how good this cake's going to be. It's just going to be brilliant. The last one was brilliant, so this is going to be good. Yeah. We're opening sugar while you're watching, you know. You can see. I've not got it all ready for. We're not Mary Berry, you know. Right, so we've got sugar, 175 grams, wasn't it? 175 grams. That's it, 175 grams. You need a good weighing scale. Weighing scale for each of this. So you've got flour, sugar, sultanas, 150 grams. Come on, 150 grams. I use these golden sultanas, they're great. 150 grams. That looks a bit like this. 150 grams, quite a lot of sultanas there. So 150 grams of that. Currants, now 125 grams. If you don't have, if you've not got everything, doesn't matter. You're going to get something. And there you go, it's a cherry cake. Cheap, isn't it? This is what we're going to put it in at the end to celebrate. Okay, as you can see, empty, no cheating. Ta-da! Made it already. That's that. Brilliant. I'll do another one. I'll show you at the end. 2 cakes. Got 2 cakes. Oh, I didn't even know I was going to do that. It's made me laugh. Sultan and cherry cake. You've got to have cakes. Don't go nuts though. Right. We've not even done the ingredients now. 3 more minutes, come on. Do the ingredients. Oh, we've got the passcode wrong. So we got stuck on currants because we couldn't find any. I'll find them in a bit and then add them. So it's 125 grams of currants, 150 grams of seedless raisins. You got your water, 73 grams of glacé cherries. So you've got your cherries here. I've got 4 left, so I think that's exactly 73 grams. Four glacé cherries, 125 grams of butter or margarine. Butter takes ages. You know, you take it out of the fridge and it's hard as rock. So the answer is take it out 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, take your butter out, and then 2 hours later come back to it. Okay. There's your harder rock butter. Harder rock butter. Or soft spread. Save his soft spread from, can't say it for legal reasons. Soft spread, and we say 125 grams. 125 grams. So you're going to need things like spoons, obviously. Spoons to mix things. So here we go with the, right, 175 grams. This mixing scale is a nightmare. Oh, it's dead old. Oh, this is not one. Don't get fazed by the technology. See what I'm doing there. Getting it in. Right, so I'll show you this because it looks a lot, but this is it. It is that amount. It is quite a lot of margarine there. 175 grams. Okay, just do a few more ingredients and then 1 egg beaten. So you got your 1 egg. 1 egg beaten. I'll beat it in a minute. put this flour in the almonds. So we're all done on the ingredients. 15 minutes, 1, 2. Okay, baking a fruitcake, part 2. David Baker, program 2 for part 2. Okay, right, so in your mixing bowl, what I did was, with that 300 ml of water, I even forgot what it was there for, because what I normally do is, to get all the, I use a bit of boiling water to get all the margarine, waste not whatnot, out of the container. So here we are in the mixing bowl, and I've added the currants, 125 grams of currants, and I couldn't find any seedless raisins, so what I've used is fruit and like peanuts in chocolate. See what happens with that. But I'm sure it'll be fine. Chocolate's the answer. And we've got the egg there. Got to get the egg going. Well, you add that to the cool. I'll just explain what you do. So you put all this, basically, you put all this in a big pan. Pick a massive pan out and put all this in there. And you're just going to simmer it, boil it, and then simmer it for 20 minutes. Okay, so all that goes in your pan. You put your pan on the gas. Smells beautiful. Smells lovely. There you go, pan on the gas. And that's 20 minutes. So we'll come back in 20 minutes and see how that's getting on. I'll set the time for 20 minutes. Bear in mind it's got to boil first, so it's got to boil first, and then what you do is 20 minutes. You bring it to the boil and then you simmer it for 20 minutes. That's exactly what you do. Then you pour it back into this mixing bowl, allow it to cool, preheat the oven to 170 degrees, gas mark 3. Grease and line the cake tin with greaseproof paper. It says a 20 centimetre round tin. I've got this one here already done. Greaseproof tin. So that all your mixture is going to go in that tin later. So add this egg to the cool mixture. The egg, don't forget the egg. That's there. That's your hard as rock butter that you've not used. Just put that to one side. Hard as rock butter. So what you're going to do is, when it's done the 20 minutes, basically it comes back out into the mixing bowl, add the egg, and add the flour and mix well. And we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so in the mixing bowl, put it all in the pan. I put the flour in by mistake. So we've only had 3 minutes and it looks ready. Put the flour in. You don't put the flour in, you put the flour in afterwards. After you've boiled all this stuff up, you put the flour in afterwards, and you add the egg. So we can't leave it on for that long, I don't think. So this is a new way of making a cake. Right. So okay, I made a slight mistake there. So we'll see how it goes. I'll put the egg in now, add it to the mixing bowl, That's only been in there for about 3 minutes. And it's already looking pretty like a cake. So I might have stumbled on the answer there by mistake. Anyway, this is literally what I'm doing. So put the flour in by mistake, put it in the pan. Now there's the egg, bang. Egg goes in. Back to the instructions in case you're doing it wrong. Right, so just basically gas mark 3, the oven. Gas mark 3. You let this mixture cool. Obviously, you've got to beat in the egg and let this mixture cool. So you're at all this heated currants, cherries, sultanas mix, sugar, all of that, and the water. All of that is getting mixed in with the egg and the flour in a mixing bowl, right? So here we are mixing it in the mixing bowl. We've got to wait for that to cool down for some reason, and then put it in the oven 2 hours. It's not 2 hours in the oven, it's about an hour. Bake for 1.25 to 1.5 hours. It's 1 1/4 to 1 1/2. I'm just checking here. I think we're pretty much good to go. I'm not sure about this. Why would you cool it down when you're just going to bake it? David Baker, come on, bake it. Let's see how it goes. Go for it. Come on. So we're mixing it all up. Done it in the wrong order a bit. Amazing. Done it in really the wrong order. This is going to be the fastest cake in the world, because it normally do 20 minutes on that, and then you put the flour and the egg in afterwards. So we'll see how this goes. See, in front of the cameras I've got a bit of stage fright there, easy to do. Right, so this is looking tremendous though, it is absolutely looking fantastic. Show you, it's quite warm. That's your cake mix. So your cake mix goes in this, and then it goes in the oven. So you preheated it. That's basically it. So that's it now. All I'll do, stir this up a bit, put it in the, I'll show you, I'll put it in there. Why it should be a bit cooler is if you're using a glass bowl, it's going to be hot, isn't it? So you don't want to drop it. Health and safety. So let this cool a bit. Let this cool a bit, and then put it in the cake tin. Don't do what I'm doing, putting it in straight away. Always remember health and safety. Okay, so if it's too hot, get a big hand, left hand or right handed, doesn't matter. Get this cake tin mix in there. And get it in the oven. No time to mess about today. Get it in. smooth it down in the greaseproof paper. It's all looking pretty cakey in there now. It's looking very much like a cake, so that's great. Make sure you get all the ingredients out the bowl. Don't spoil the shit for an eighth of the tar. In other words, don't spend all day trying to get every last tiny bit out. Just wash up the bowl, because you've got to get on with the cake. You can't spend hours doing all the washing up before you've done that. And that's it now. It's going in the oven. Set the alarm for 1 hour, and we'll come back in an hour and see how it is. Okay, we're back. The cake's been in the oven for about an hour, and 7:48 would have been an hour, so 12, 28, an hour and 28 minutes. So it's about an hour and 28 minutes. So, I mean, an hour and a half baking a cake is about right, I think. So, obviously the more the ingredients, the longer it takes. The bigger the cake, the longer it takes. So, what you need is a prong, like this. So we'll just test the cake now. The bit I should have told you about before is put the almonds on the top of the cake. Remember, the almonds were in a bleached pan like this. There's still one there, so I can show you maybe. These are the skins of the almonds. So you take the skins off the almonds, and then you can either put them in half, or if they're small almonds, just put them on the top of the cake, bang, it goes in, and then you bake it. So it's brilliant. So we'll just test the cake now. If you put the prong in, and if it comes out soft, it's not. If bits come off on it, it's not ready. But if you put the prong in and it comes out clean, ready. So it's very important. So we'll just do that test now to see if it needs another 10 or 15 minutes. So health and safety, gloves, get your gloves as you're taking the cake out to look at it. Okay, so put the prong in it. You see little bits on it, So it probably needs another 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll take it out again. Okay, I'm back now, ready to take the cake out. It's at 8:34, so it's been in there since an hour 46. An hour 46. It's quite hot on the tray, obviously, so wear gloves. There you go, a hot tray. Now, if you want your obviously your almonds to be a bit more brown, bleach them with milk before you put them on the cake, and also put them on the cake when you're baking it at the start, and not like I did at the end. Okay. So what you need to do then is leave it for 3 hours to cool on a baking on here. So you turn out your cake onto here. I'll show you. I'll find some space here. There you go. So it's perfect, it's all ready. Just test it again with the prong. Can't find a prong, use the back of a spoon. Once again, if it needs a little bit more, just put it in for 10 more minutes. If it's a bit gooey, that's the thing, if it's a bit gooey inside, give it another 10 minutes in the oven. And that's it, that's how to make a fruitcake.